everybody! We're the team for connecting seniors in Skärholmen. And we're gonna get started. And for those of you who don't have pollen allergies, you can smell these to have a pleasant experience. Let's get started, everybody.
We are connecting seniors. My name is Samuel Kimambo from Tanzania. I'm electronics and telecommunication engineer.
I'm Issy. I have a background in information systems and community engagement, and I'm from Sweden.
I'm Tanya. I'm from Kenya, and I have a data science and finance background.
I'm Martha, and I'm an interior architect, and I'm also from Sweden.
Okay, our challenge giver is Stockholms Stad, the elderly support department from Skärholmen. Our original challenge: how might we alleviate and encounter problems with social isolation and loneliness among seniors? To address the challenge, we must not look only to the medical factors and primary care, but also we can look the problem from individual perspective. As we know from the WHO study, it indicated that the loneliness and social isolation has got high impact on mental and physical health of people. Also, by tackle the challenge, we can help reduce the healthcare utilization. Also, the study conducted by American Association of Pensioner Persons indicated that the senior people who are engaged in social life have more satisfied life. So by tackle the challenge, we can help improve the quality of our seniors. To the Skärholmen, it's located here. We find the location of Skärholmen. It's a small administrative of around 8,615 active, 83% of the population with background of foreign background. To study more on the challenge, we work hand in hand with our stakeholders, the key stakeholders, to understand more of the challenge. Here are some of our stakeholders, which we conducted multiple interviews, group discussion, and discuss from them their perspective on the challenge of loneliness and social isolation among the seniors. These are the key stakeholders who work hand in hand with those seniors. Also, we talk with the children and grandchildren from the seniors to try to connect the intergeneration things between the elderly people and the young people to get their perspective. Also, we conducted the discussion with the elderly men from the Swedish church. Also, we conducted discussion with the volunteer youth from the Red Cross Hub, social hub for seniors. Also, we conducted multiple semi-structured interview with the seniors from the activity center, also outreach coordinator, also development and quality management manager, and specialist net. These are the people who we discuss with, try to understand more of the challenge.
Great! So after talking with all of these stakeholders and different people with different insights, we collected insights. And we're gonna head over to them. Thank you, Tanya. So what we foremost noticed was that there were some communication challenges. We had digital literacy issues that was higher among people with foreign background. And also distrust between authorities and senior citizens also led to some communication issues between authorities and seniors. And then we had the language barriers where some seniors had different levels of Swedish skills, also English skills. And these led to some dependencies on relatives for especially the seniors with immigrant background. This also led to difficulty navigating the welfare system, which already is kind of complex to understand, especially if you have a language barrier. And several seniors reported dismay with the home services, which led to codependency at home for some of them. We also saw a lack of diversity in some of the governing bodies where the seniors were represented, mainly the pensioner associations. There are a lot of local organizations in the area that are doing different things for seniors, but they lack a common platform. And we also saw the need to empower local communities, since some people reported dismay with having people from the outside coming with projects, or people coming top down with initiatives to do when there are already local people with talents that can be broadcasted. So we also saw some indicators on what could boost social interaction. Interpersonal contact was across the board the favorite mode of communication, also when it came to conveying information about future happenings. We also saw that some people prefer to socialize through projects and through common purposes. And we saw that intergenerational exchange was a big moral boost for the seniors. And actually we also saw that nature can benefit social health. For example, there was a woman that reported that if a path is laid with greenery, that will actually affect her decision to go to a certain place or activity or not. When we talked to different people, and especially the former outreach coordinator, we learned about the concept of active aging, which is a multidimensional framework that encompasses a whole view on health for seniors, including social connectedness, participation in society, and lifelong learning. So all of these led us to narrow down to some target groups that we saw as extra vulnerable that we wanted to focus on. And these are seniors with immigrant background, seniors who have to stay at home involuntarily, and people who miss the purpose and routine of work. And all of this led us to redefine the challenge, actually, because from the insights we did see that inclusion and accessibility was a major obstacle to reach out to seniors in solitude. So we really wanted to include that in the challenge definition. And we also learned that people of all ages really do not only want to be receivers, even if that is nice also, but we also love to be contributors. So that made us to redefine the problem to how might we connect seniors to opportunities of accessible and inclusive active aging. And with that definition in mind of the problem, we set out to explore 5 different concepts to solve the challenge. The first is the gardeners, which back then was a complement to the home services. The janitors, who was a solution to give purposeful missions to seniors in retirement. The Oasis, who was a physical information hub that was designed so you can't really miss it. And then What's Up Skärholmen, a website for increased collaborations. And the activity box, that was the solution to bring activities home to the seniors. And with that said, I leave over to Tanya.
So we have our initial 5 concepts. So we had to test our concepts and see if what we really came up with would work. So we had a workshop, and the aim of the workshop was to make sure that we have feedback and the community is part of our idea. So the the idea is that the 5 concepts that we had, we narrowed them down for the concept. So we had the knowledge bank, which is the janitors. We combined the oasis and the website to have an information flow system, because the whole idea for the two is how information is disseminated, and then the activity box and the gardeners. So during the workshop, we were able to get what their hopes were, what their fears are, and how they think our ideas should be implemented. This then led us to choosing our final concept, which is Skärholmen Urban Social Farm. So what is Skärholmen Urban Social Farm? It is a community-led social hub in the outdoors focused on urban gardening. So this is a complement. Before it was called the Gardeners, which was a complement to the home service, but then now it's an urban social project, a planting project. So with all the insights that we had gathered, and even from the workshop, we had certain goals that we wanted the social farm to meet. So increased collaborations, knowledge sharing. So is it a space where people could be able to learn, and still back to our idea of active aging, so lifelong learning. Increased democracy, building trusting relationships. Skärholmen has people don't know their neighbors that well, so this is a good way to be able to know your neighbors and know people within your community, and most importantly, make someone feel important.
Yeah, so what do we hope for with this suggestion is that it could be a hub where this different organizations could meet, but also different generations could work together. We think it could be benefit to have a common goal between the different communities in Skärholmen, and allowing them to share skill and culture beyond the gardening. So as we mentioned before, there are a lot of organizations, and also Stockholms Stad that really have a big passion for the elderly and arranging a lot of activities, and there's a lot of things going on, which is very positive. And we think it could be beneficial for them to meet each other. We had that as a feedback during one of the workshops, that it was really nice for them to meet during the workshop. So we think that could help them. They could help each other maybe. And as we said before, the personal interaction is very important. So that's why we believe in a meeting spot. And we thought a bit about how do we make this an active place year round, and of course it's going to be more around the planting and take care of the plants and take up all the plants and so on. But we think there are things you can do during autumn and winter as well, like lectures and planning next season and so on. And we hope that since we have a suggestion of a hub that is outside, that it will be visible. So if you're not part of a group yet, hopefully if you walk past a couple of times, you might dare to get into this space. And we discussed a bit where could this be, and we've been in contact with the park administration in Skärholmen, which has been very helpful, and they seemed open to renting out a space or somewhere where you can start a project. And then we read a report on Skärholmen, future, what they're aiming for. And for those who haven't been in Skärholmen, this is the city center. You have a big mall down here, and then here is they sell groceries, and they have flower shop, and here is water, and you can sit around and have an ice cream now in the summer. And then up here they have a big balcony almost that has planting in it and playground. But there's a lot of people who misses this spot because they think it might belong to the housing up here. So there is an idea or plan of making them connect these two surfaces, and we thought maybe it could be done by greenery, and that could be the project then to connect these two spaces. But we had, I think like Jaupa reminded us like by creating something new, you like include new people and you create these roles, but you also exclude other people. So like one of our big target groups can't leave their home. So now the suggestion is to make something in the city, and there's also stairs, and so for some people this won't be a good thing, or like they can't participate. So we thought like maybe the project could scale up and you can contribute to the project by planting at home, but then you also need to feel like you're part of a big group, so you're not like just planting at home. So we think it would be fun for the project to have a common goal with a harvest festival where everyone could share their knowledge about the planting and eat the food together, maybe exchange flowers and learn from each other and the process they had.
Yeah, and we actually did the test this solution we sent out an email to several stakeholders, and we received answers from the Red Cross, who held a workshop together with their seniors. So it's really fun to see that the participation in the solution is already happening. And I won't go through everything, but I think one of the really fun feedback we got was that a senior told them that as an older person you feel that you are revived by the younger ones, you become alive again, which made us really go into the intergenerational aspect of this. Yeah, so finally, before we finish off, let's go through how you could get started with this in a more hands-on way. So first you need to initiate the planting. And this is pretty easy. Order a planting box from the city administration. It's already a service that is provided. And start engaging with local communities in a pilot. And here it's very important to invite for diversity already from the beginning, so that the people that are engaged are a diverse crowd, so you can expand the network on different frontiers. Then you need to establish a common forum that can create a collective ownership for all participants. And here you could consider different structures for collaborative decision making together with all engaged parts. And to do this, we move into 3. Here you can already treasure local strength that is in the community. There are already stakeholders, local actors that know a lot about crafting democracy and have insights in this. And if you already in the beginning when you start to design the structures, foster a culture of knowledge of sharing, that will continue with the project. And then most importantly, ensure public engagement continuously throughout the project. And this you can do by involving high-level empaths that fosters a welcoming climate for participants as well as bypassers, so you can catch them in when they are passing by. So with that, we hope to create a physical and symbolic place for growth. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Skärholmen and the challenge givers.